welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a journaling video, and I haven't done one of these in quite a long time. I know some of my viewers were here for my journaling content, and I usually do some junk journaling, especially for Junk Journal July and Junk Journal January, and I also do my travel journals as well. And I know most of you are here for my painting and art content, so I enjoy both and I really love sharing my journals, so I hope it's okay that I'm still going to be doing it on the channel. And if you're not interested, then hopefully you'll still enjoy it. This is quite a short one, and I wanted to talk a little bit about avoiding burnout and finding other creative hobbies. So it kind of does link in with my painting and my art, but in a different way. So this is my New York travel journal that I'm just flipping through here, so you can see a little bit of what I've been working on. Most of this was done obviously off camera, and this is a hobby that I like to do just for me. Whereas my painting has now become my job, journaling is just for me, and I can spend as much or as little time as I want. And that also ties in with Messy May. So Get Messy Art hosts a journal challenge, which is like daily-ish, so there's no pressure at all to do it daily. But it's a really great challenge with a prompt list, and I was lucky to be one of the contributors this year. So I was day 10 and my challenge was all about time. And this is something that I always talk about, especially with art, but it's about making time for our hobbies. And even if we've only got 5 or 10 minutes spare a day, I think it's really important to still be creative. And so for this one, you'll have seen at the beginning, I set a 20-minute timer, although I do actually continue and go for 30 minutes. But it just goes to show that you can do little bits like that and little chunks of time here and there throughout the day, because I think most of us often have that expectation of needing more time. And I know I used to be one of these people who said I didn't have enough time to do everything. Whereas really I think it's about prioritizing. And so if I prioritize creating and just spending even 15 minutes in my journal, maybe even once a month, so not even every single week, but just having that extra time really does help, and I really enjoy switching off in this way. I love to draw and I love to paint, but it doesn't switch me off because it's work and I'm constantly thinking about what to paint next or what to do to move my career forward. Whereas journaling is just a completely relaxing hobby for me, which is why I love to create in journals like this so much. So we went to New York in December and I wanted to document it in this traveler's notebook. So this is my first official traveler's notebook that I did buy at a stationery store in New York. I will link up my haul in the cards if you want to see what I bought when I was out there. But it just made sense to use the journal that I bought out there for this trip, and I was really excited to get going. I'm using some ink there, which is a really lovely one that my sister bought back from Japan for me that I asked her to get for me. That's a Shachihata ink, and I will try and link that down below if I can find it. But like I said, she did get it in Japan. I'm using some Travelers Airline stickers, so the Traveler's notebook that I got is the airline edition, and I got that on sale in New York. And I'm just putting some photos that I printed down, and I'm using some of the ephemera that I got with me on the trip. So you'll see on the side there's a little fold out, which is a tip-in that I made from a map that I picked up whilst we were in Rockefeller Center, and then using some brown paper from packaging and a receipt. And then for this page I'm using a Muji postcard that I picked up in store. So I really enjoy using pieces that were from the trip. I try not to use any extra bits, although I have put in obviously some washi tape and some memo pad sheets, and I do put in some pattern paper, but generally most of the background elements are from pieces I picked up when I was there. So here you can see I'm getting out maps and more receipts and things. The Muji one just seemed right to include because obviously I was using the postcard that I picked up there. And this is a really simple page. I haven't completely finished it because I haven't added in all of my writing. I tend to prefer to do that off camera. You can see that I'm coming in and out with different things to see how it works, because it felt a bit blank on the right hand page, so I'm just seeing if I want to add on little elements to add on some more colour. I included the bottom of the memo pad sheet on the left underneath the postcard just to try and add in a little bit of interest so that you know to lift it up. And then I also picked up this from the Rockefeller Center, which is just a postcard, and it was really thick, so generally with these things you can peel them off, and that's what I did with this one. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky, but it's definitely worth it so that it doesn't bulk out your journal too much. So just glue that in with some Pritt Stick, and I add on my pictures above. And like I said, this one is really simple, but I think it doesn't matter if it's simple. I'm still putting down all of my memories and trying to document my trip in the way that feels right for me. This is a super low pressure journal, and I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. And it's just something that I can pull out when I do want to de-stress from work and really not think about work as a whole. I really do find that I can switch off with this one, and although I'm filming it obviously for YouTube, it doesn't feel like work, and I hope that you don't mind me sharing this with you as well. I still haven't finished my Japan travel journal, that's still ongoing, but it's nice to be able to swap between the two and just go with what I fancy, even if I am behind. I've talked about that in a video as well, about it not really bothering me that I am quite delayed in documenting these trips because I can just pull them out whenever I want to. So I am adding on a bit of journaling here with my Kaweko pen there that I also bought in New York, but I want to add on some more writing later on underneath the postcard just to explain the photos that I'll add in there. To tie this in together, I'm again using that Shachihata ink pad, which has that green bit in the middle, so you can get a huge amount of colours from this one pad, and I really love the way that looks. I'm using this ink pad throughout the journal to try and tie things together, so it looks really cohesive, even though obviously I'm using lots of different things throughout the pages. The brown paper is also a constant. That was from a Macy's bag, and so I'll be using that to tie it all in as well. So that is basically the title for the page, and I just want to see if there's anything to fill this gap here at the bottom. I was tempted to use that Christmas paper because obviously we did go during a festive time, but in the end I just used this quite subtle washi tape, and I like the idea of things going over the page, so I add on that extra bit on the right as well. And I found this little stamp. It doesn't really tie in, but I really like the way that it looked up there, so it's generally just a case of trying things and seeing if they work. I add on this label stamp so I can add in some writing there, but that's the spread done, so it is really simple. Oh, I did actually add in these two photos that make me laugh, and I will add in some journaling underneath that rabbit memo pad, just so that it makes sense. But here's a close-up of the page so you can see all of the details. Like I said, it's simple, but it is documenting my memories and still putting in some of the ephemera and the things that I got on our trip, so it still feels really special. Here's a beautiful sunrise, and then a picture from up the top of the Rockefeller, and then the map which folds out, and I'm going to add in a lot more writing here about the cookies that we got and a little bit more about our day. So those are the spreads I've done today. Like I said, it is quite a quick journaling session, but it was really nice to be able to switch off and just create in here today. So I'll leave any links I've mentioned down below, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope that you can find a small amount of time to create just for you and switch off and be mindful, and I hope you have a lovely week ahead. I will see you next Sunday with a new video. See you later.